Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So today we are going to talk about multiple players and we are first going to talk about Michal Karbownik. So according to Mundo Deportivo, they have stated that Barcelona are closely monitoring the progress of Polish left back Michal Karbownik. Barcelona and Real Betis could repeat the same formula used for the signing of Brazilian right back Emerson, but there are many more teams interested in the player. So yeah, if you guys don't know who this player is, he is a 19-year-old left back who plays in the first division in Denmark, and according to Sports Channel, they have stated that this left back cost around 8 million to 10 million, and his current stats right now is 7 assists in 27 matches as a left back. His contract also ends in 2021, and I was watching this player for a cool minute. He is a very hypergenic player and he does rely on his quick movement and pace, similar to what Jordi Alba does, and I believe that's the main reason why Barcelona is so interested in this player. And I also believe that I think this is the type of left back that Barcelona is looking for, and this is a great thing to see, right? Because I think that Barcelona is expanding their options. They're looking at Jordi Alba, Junior Firpo. Now they're looking at this player. They are looking for their next left back, and doing stuff like this, bringing in young players, is the perfect way to do it. Because look, at the end of the day, right now our left back condition is not looking well. We have Alba, who's 31 years old. He has not found his form. We haven't seen the same Alba since Anfield. Then we have Junior Firpo, who's a potential candidate to become better, but right now, at the moment, he hasn't been able to adapt to the FC Barcelona playing style. Then we have a report coming from Mundo Deportivo. We have another player named Miranda. He is part of the academy, and they said this: Juan Miranda will return to Barcelona this summer to do preseason under Quique Setién. It will then be decided what happens with the left back. And so I agree with this loan to Real Betis. I believe that Barcelona should get this player. He is good enough. He does have potential. I think that he should go to Real Betis, have him adapt to La Liga, understand what it's like to play in every weekend at a league like this. And then in the meantime, in the 2020-2021 season, we should let Firpo, Jordi Alba, and Miranda sort things out and see who is the player to stand out of the three, because this is the best case scenario for Barcelona, is to expand your options. And look, this is football. One of them is going to flop, but one of them is going to tell us, hey, this is the player that should not move forward with FC Barcelona, and that's okay. The whole reason to do this is to expand the options and trim down the best left back. And if one left back fails out of the three that I just mentioned, Karbownik can always come in next season in 2021-2022 to replace that left back. So this is perfect strategizing coming from FC Barcelona. Now moving on to the next topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Felipe Coutinho. So according to Sport, it says Leicester City interest in the on loan Felipe Coutinho has cooled down, with Leicester City coach Brendan Rodgers deeming that 100 million euros asking price for the Brazilian is too high for the English club. Now this is the club where Coutinho can finally go to that club and say, this is going to be home. Now to hear this report and knowing that Coutinho could have had his chance to go back home, to go to Brendan Rodgers, a coach that could have understand him, now Coutinho cannot go to that club because Coutinho is priced at 100 million euros. And again, Brendan Rodgers was key to this move. We could have easily sold Coutinho this summer to Leicester City because Brendan Rodgers was influential enough to bring Coutinho in. And again, that relationship is not going to be enough. Why? Because he cost 100 million euros. This is the same thing that we talked about 2 videos back. I did say that this price tag is going to cause trouble to a lot of teams. Coutinho shouldn't be priced at 100 million, especially knowing that he did not have a good 18 months. And then coming from the same report, they stated that Leicester City's financial limit this transfer is only 45 million euros. So now I think that we can officially cross out Leicester City to snatch up Felipe Coutinho this summer. Now the only destinations left for Felipe Coutinho is probably going to be PSG, Chelsea, and Inter Milan. And we did have Jordi Cardona, who is the vice president of FC Barcelona, speak out about all these swap deals that they might do this summer, and he said this, that Barcelona plan to swap rather than buy players on the transfer market this summer, with football shutdown already having cost the club between 120 million to 140 million euros in revenue. So what do I do with this information, guys? This basically means that there's a higher chance that we could only be achieving swap deals this summer than actually buying players outright, which basically means that if Barcelona do want to have a player that costs cost past 90 million euros, Coutinho could potentially be in that deal. And look, to be honest, swap deals rarely happen. We rarely see swap deals happen in today's game, especially. And I think that the last swap deal that we actually seen on global stage was between Ibrahimovic and Samuel Eto'o back in 2009. So who knows? We could see a swap deal happen this summer, but it rarely happens. And this could be all part of the plan from FC Barcelona. Maybe they're raising Coutinho's fee to 100 million so they can close the financial gap when they do want to swap a player between Coutinho or Lautaro Martinez, or between Coutinho and Neymar Jr. But the final conclusion is this: the options are closing for Felipe Coutinho. We saw Barcelona price Felipe Coutinho to 100 million euros 2 to 3 days ago, and now we are seeing the first report that Leicester City is not able to afford a player like Felipe Coutinho anymore. Their budget is 45 million, so we're gonna have to close them out, and the only clubs that will be left for Felipe Coutinho is Chelsea, PSG, and Inter Milan. And if not that, it's less likely to see Coutinho leave FC Barcelona this summer. We could potentially see Felipe Coutinho in a FC Barcelona shirt next season. Now I want to move on to two center backs where we had a lot of debate on who should leave FC Barcelona this summer, and that is Lenglet and Samuel Umtiti. So we're first going to start with Lenglet. So according to Miguel Rico, who is a very reliable journalist in Mundo Deportivo, he stated this: Lenglet will not be in Barca's swap deals. The club is not contemplating his transfer or including him in any exchange operations. So yes, I believe that Lenglet, out of the two, is the defender to stay. He is the younger center back. He is the one who has more potential to become a better defender going forward. And then if we move on to Umtiti, it says here, according to Mundo Deportivo, Umtiti, the most wanted in Barcelona swap deals, as he is the one who is receiving the most proposals. The teams that are interested in him is Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea, Inter, Napoli, and PSG are some of the clubs that have asked about the central defender. So now knowing that we have clubs that are interested in him, and now knowing that Barcelona are potentially looking to sell this player, it only makes sense that Umtiti is the defender to see the exit door this summer. Now, could we see Umtiti feature in a swap deal this summer? Because like I said before, swap deals rarely happen, and it's going to be very tough to see Umtiti actually be in a swap deal. Umtiti does cost around 40 million euros, maybe even less, and there has been rumors where Umtiti can be swapped with Ndombele from Tottenham, and he also can be used for either the Neymar operation or the Lautaro Martinez operation. There are suitors like Inter Milan and PSG for Samuel Umtiti, and if we look right here, according to Sport, it says Umtiti chosen by PSG to replace Thiago Silva, and Barcelona would be willing to consider an offer starting at 30 million euros. And it's true, Umtiti can be that player to lower the price down for Neymar Jr. It could potentially go down to 110 or maybe even 100 million euros. And the same thing could go with Inter Milan. Barcelona can give Samuel Umtiti to Inter Milan because if we look at their backline, Inter Milan has a player named Godin. Godin is not the youngest player in the world, but Inter Milan will be looking to find that next replacement for Godin. And so again, there are suitors. It's all going to depend on what PSG and Inter Milan want or need this summer. And so which center back should Barcelona keep? Because we also have to take into account that Todibo is going to be here next season, and that means we're going to have Piqué, Lenglet, Umtiti, Todibo, Araujo, and then another potential signing for FC Barcelona. And who knows, it could be Upamecano, which means that one is either going to have to really step down or see the exit door. And right now, Umtiti seems like the first candidate to see the exit door this summer. So let me know what you guys think. What center back do you think should leave this summer? Now moving on to the last topic of the day, and we are going to talk about Luis Suarez. So according to Marca, they said this: Luis Suarez is on the radar of plenty MLS clubs, but although the club would be willing to listen to offers for the 33-year-old, the coaches still see him as an important player among the squad. Barcelona don't think that the Uruguayan international wants to leave just yet because it will be difficult to find a club willing to pay his wages. If Luis Suarez does decide to stay this summer, we're going to end up with 7 attackers. And with Luis Suarez being 33 years old, knowing that his contract does end in 2021 next year, could there be a possibility that Barcelona could be looking ahead? And that's a question that Barcelona need to ask themselves this summer coming up, is if Martinez does come, do you keep a player like Luis Suarez? And I think Barcelona is going to have two routes when they do think about Luis Suarez and his future. It could be either either no, we're going to keep Luis Suarez, he is going to be the mentor, he is going to be the one that's going to tell the attackers on how to position themselves and how to become a better striker. Or two, they could say no, we're going to move on, we need better attackers, we need younger legs, we want to thank you for your service, Luis Suarez, but this comes to an end. So it could either be one of those two routes. And I think that Barcelona is not just dealing with a very saturated front line, I think that they're also dealing with the huge payroll that they have to like pay next season if they do end up keeping everybody. They're especially going to consider this knowing that this pandemic greatly affected them. So they're really going to have to spend their money wisely. And having a huge payroll is the last thing that FC Barcelona wants. And this is going to come down to how Barcelona value Luis Suarez. Like, what are they going to see in Luis Suarez that no one can provide in that team? And to me, it's going to be experience. This is going to be my opinion. I think that Luis Suarez brings the experience in FC Barcelona, especially in the attack. I think that Luis Suarez is more valuable than ever, knowing that we have more attackers than ever, and Luis Suarez has to be that man to lead the attacking line. Not necessarily on the field, but it could be behind closed doors where Luis Suarez can tell them, hey, this is how you're going to position yourself, this is how you have to move, this is how you need to time your runs. And in that way, players like Martinez, Ansu Fati, Trincao can be lethal in the box. Because at the end of the day, as good as Lautaro Martinez is, Ansu Fati and Trincao, as good as they are nowhere near as good as Luis Suarez in his prime yet. And Luis Suarez can be that guy to hand the mantle to either of those three players to become a better Barcelona player next season. And final conclusion is that I think Luis Suarez is going to go to the MLS, but not this summer. I think that Luis Suarez will go in 2021, see out his contract, and go to a team like LAFC, which I hope, because I do live like 1 hour away from LA. And if Luis Suarez does come to LAFC, I would highly encourage that. So yeah, Luis Suarez will stay this summer. So that is it for today's Barcelona Daily News. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.